The Ultimate Husband. By Sky Kissing Wolf.
Episode 186. Daryl stepped forward. Instantly, the crowd held their breath, praying for the man. The president cold fired him after getting caught playing on his phone. "What are you watching?" Daryl smiled, stopping in front of the staff member. "President." The staff heard Daryl's voice and almost dropped his phone as he staggered. He quickly composed himself and blurted, "President." "Ah." His phone screen caught Daryl's eyes. A woman was live-streaming herself, exuding an unspeakable charm that would drive men crazy. On the live-streaming page, only a few people were watching. The atmosphere was good with praises refreshing the page non-stop. "My goddess is too beautiful. Your voice is so intriguing. Does my goddess need any assistance?" Daryl was amused yet confused as he looked at the screen. This goddess was his wife, Lily. Why was she live-streaming at this hour? Was she not supposed to be busy with her company work? In the past 3 years of their marriage, she never really got involved with social media. Why did she live-stream out of the blue? With that in mind, Daryl eyed the staff in the front of him. "Who is the female anchor live-streaming?" Daryl asked, already knowing the answer. "President." The staff stuttered. He thought Daryl would yell at him, but he had only asked who the female anchor was. Meanwhile, another staff beside them answered carefully, "President, her name is Lily Linden. She's a new anchor. I heard she's from Donghai City and that she just started live-streaming a few days ago." Daryl nodded, glancing at Pearl, who was standing by his side. "Pearl, help me find out what happened to her. Why did she start live-streaming?" "Yes, I'll look into it right away." Pearl picked up her phone to make some calls. In the afternoon, Pearl knocked on his door. "President, I've done a background check. The female anchor was Lily Linden. She was kicked out of her family business 2 days ago." "Huh? Kicked out of her family?" Granny Linden's age had caught up to her. Pearl was shocked. "President, is everything okay?" she asked carefully. Daryl calmed down, shaking his head. "I'm fine," he reassured. "This live-streaming platform. Do you know anything about it?" "Yes." Pearl nodded. "This is the Longya live streaming platform. The owner is a partner of ours." Daryl nodded. "All right, find ways to make her popular." "Understood." Pearl answered, leaving his office. After she left, Daryl took out his phone and created an account on the Longya live streaming platform. He nicknamed himself Hill, since Daryl rhymes with hill. There were a few people on her platform. She was naturally beautiful. With the filter, Lily looked like a fairy in disguise. As Daryl entered her platform, a fan named Donghai Boss sent a group of planes worth $20,000. Lily was excited and stood up to thank him. "Thank you, Donghai Boss." In the past few days of live streaming, this was the first time someone had sent her $20,000 worth of gifts. The Donghai Boss left a comment. "Goddess, dance to a song." "Dance? Sorry. I can't dance." Lily apologized. That's dance they were referring to was not an ordinary dance, but the sexy and seductive kind. The Donghai Boss was not pleased. "Goddess, are you not aware of the rules in this platform? Right now, I'm the highest paying viewer. You have to do whatever I tell you to do as long as it's not against the law, understood? I gave you $20,000. Do you want to get kicked out of the platform?" Other viewers on her profile sided with him. "He's right. He did pay you $20,000. Do you think you're that chaste? Dance, dance." Lily pursed her lips, standing up unwillingly in her mini skirt. They did have a point, he did pay her a large sum of money. If she rejected him, nobody would send her gifts again in the future. Everyone was anticipating excitedly, thinking that they would finally be able to watch Lily dance. Her fair and long legs were so alluring. Episode 187. What now? Lily stood there, panic-stricken with her lips pursed. Suddenly, a shocking scene appeared on the screen. A crazy person sent groups after groups of gifts on her platform, which summed up to $2 million. Wow. The entire platform went into an uproar. Giving out $2 million worth of gifts in one go. Could it have been a billionaire? Lily shivered with gratitude as she looked at the name of the person, Hill. After donating the money, the user Hill commented on the platform. You don't have to do anything. Sing if you feel like singing. The Donghai boss shut up instantly. Reading what Hill wrote, Lily was overwhelmed with gratitude. Just as she was about to stand up to thank him, she saw that the Hill user already left the platform. Knock. 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 President, may I enter? A voice asked. Come in. Pearl entered with a pile of documents in her hands. President, I've made arrangements regarding Lily Linden's live streaming platform. Here is our monthly revenue report. Please have a look. Daryl skimmed through the documents and smiled. Not bad at all. He had to admit. Pearl was very capable. She increased the profits of the corporation. After receiving the compliments, Pearl smiled and took the opportunity to ask, President, Rogers' auction is happening tonight. Are you interested in dropping by? They've sent us an invitation earlier today. Rogers' auction. What kind of name was that? Daryl thought to himself. Nah, not interested. President, this is not just any auction. Pearl hastily added on. It's hosted by the Roger family. Daryl frowned. He had heard the Roger family. They were considered a big family, but most of their investments were not in Donghai City. Meanwhile, Pearl continued. According to them, they will not only be auctioning rare jewels, but also many treasures unknown to the world. In addition to these, real estate, license plate numbers, and so on are also being auctioned. I think it might be worth your time. With that said, Pearl looked at Daryl with anticipation. Pearl wanted to attend the auction since half a month ago. She knew that they would be auctioning a pair of The Worship of Crystal, limited to 99 pairs in the world. Like any other girl, owning this was her dream, but her current financial ability. All she wanted to do was steal a glimpse of the pair in the auction. Seeing the look of anticipation on Pearl, Daryl considered for a while and nodded. Fine, you can go with me. Thank you, President. Pearl chirped. She felt immensely lucky to be working for such a kind-hearted boss. Yvonne Young felt somewhat depressed the past few days. She did not know why, but the thought of Daryl kept entering her mind. The image of him appraising the antiques, the looks of him fighting the sharks, his bravery of saving everyone, and being hurt by the robbers. Even while he was covered in blood. The deeply embroidered scenes kept flashing in her mind like a curse. She could not help her heart from beating so quickly whenever she saw him. It had been almost half a month since she last heard back from Daryl. She wondered if he had recovered, she wondered what he was doing. Yvonne felt as if she was ill, uninterested in anything happening beside her. Yvonne. Meanwhile, her father, Kingston, rushed into the living room. Why are you daydreaming at home again? Let's go. I'll bring you to an interesting event. Kingston noticed that Yvonne had been feeling under the weather and wanted to cheer up. Dad, I don't feel like going out. Yvonne mumbled. Kingston smiled. You'll definitely want to go to this auction. Have you heard of Rogers' auction? There will be lots of antiques being sold in this auction. Who knows, we might come home with a few treasures. Also, aren't you in love with The Worship of Crystal? According to them, they will be auctioning a pair of those too. Episode 188. Are you serious? Okay, I'll get changed right away. Yvonne was ecstatic. She had always wanted a pair of The Worship of Crystal shoes for herself. When she saw Lily to help her get another pair, she was willing to pay double the price for it. Unfortunately, Lily had no idea who sent them to her as a gift. After a while, Yvonne came out from her bedroom after getting changed into a t-shirt and denim shorts. Her appearance was clean and tidy while still keeping her charm. Kingston nodded as they left the house together. A BMW was parked by the entrance. A handsome man in an expensive suit got out of the car after seeing both of them. Uncle Young. Yvonne. The man greeted as he walked toward them. Tristan. Why are you here? Yvonne raised her brows slightly, emphasizing her beautiful features and her irresistible eyes. The man was Tristan Zink. His family was in the jewelry business. He had been chasing after Yvonne for quite a while. Dad asked me to drop by. Tristan chuckled as he pointed at Kingston. What nonsense are you talking about? Yvonne scowled. He's my dad, not yours. Please use your words wisely. She turned to Kingston and asked, Dad, what's this about? Why did you ask him to come? Kingston ruffled his hair. He knew that Yvonne had been upset in the past few days because of Daryl. To him, Daryl was just a live-in son-in-law. He was far out of Yvonne's league. He asked Tristan to join them today in hopes of getting them together. The main point of going to this auction was for both of them to better understand each other. Dad mentioned that you haven't been too happy lately, so he asked me to accompany you to the auction. Tristan smirked. He's my dad, not yours. Yvonne sneered, offended by how shameless he was to keep on calling Kingston his dad. Tristan laughed it off as he walked forward to open the car door for them. Yvonne, Dad, let's go. The auction is starting very soon. Uncle Young, don't bother driving over today. I'll send you both home after the auction. Yvonne got in the car with a straight face. Seeing that she had already got in, Kingston said to Tristan in a low voice. Kid, I'm already giving you a great opportunity. It's all up to you now. Dad, don't worry. I really like Yvonne, I won't let you down. Tristan reassured. Kingston nodded and got in the car. One more thing, he added, calling me Dad seems to be inappropriate still. Understood, Dad. At the central building where the auction took place, Pearl and Daryl got down from the car. A familiar figure caught his eye immediately. Dax. Not too far, Dax Sanders was dressed in a suit while chit-chatting with some executives along with his wife, Nancy. Once he saw Daryl, he walked toward him, smiling. Daryl. You're here too. Are you alone? Where's my sister-in-law? Dax asked as he freed Daryl. The last time Daryl was injured, Lily stayed by his side, taking care of him. He assumed they had a good relationship. Daryl laughed as he turned to Pearl. Go ahead, don't wait for me. I'll find you before the auction starts. Okay. Pearl replied before walking into the hall. Bro, who was that? Dax questioned with a smirk. He was amused that his brother always went around with a gorgeous lady by his side. Daryl smiled, my secretary. Secretary? Dax laughed. There's a saying that goes, when you're busy, let your secretary take care of it. When you're free, take care of your secretary. As they were exchanging laughter, a burst of exclamation came from the crowd. A BMW pulled over, and Yvonne instantly became the center of attention as she got down from the car. Damn it. Daryl muttered to himself, suddenly remembering that he had not replied to any of her messages. Daryl. Yvonne spotted him from the crowd right away. She rushed over. Yvonne was charming as usual. Her simple t-shirt and denim pants made her body appear as alluring as ever. The men surrounding her could not help locking their gaze on her. However, Kingston's face turned green at the sight of Daryl. What was he doing at an auction like this? He could not but think back to the day when he came home to the sight of 3 women tied up with rope by Daryl. Among the 3 of them was his very own daughter, Yvonne. Episode 189. Kingston scowled as he gave Tristan a stern look. Tristan understood him instantly and marched over. Oh, look. Isn't this Lyndon's live-in son-in-law? As Tristan spoke, he put his arm around Yvonne's waist. Yvonne, why do you bother greeting him? He's nothing but a live-in son-in-law. Yvonne stomped her foot as Tristan approached her suddenly. What are you doing? Daryl, please don't take this the wrong way. Tristan smiled and asked her, Yvonne, so what if he takes this the wrong way or not? Dude, do you know me? He glared at Daryl. I'm Tristan Zink. My family and I are in the jewelry business. We own the 5 Zink Jewelry stores in Donghai City. One more thing, I like Yvonne, so stay away from her. No wonder he sounded so boastful, he was in the jewelry business. Daryl laughed it off, not caring the slightest. Meanwhile, the crowd made their way into the hall as the auction began. It's funny that a live-in son-in-law can come to a place like this. Tristan mocked. Is this somewhere you can even afford to be at? Is there a rule saying that I can't be here if I don't have money? Daryl laughed. He understood the man was Yvonne's suitor. Tristan was trying to flaunt his wealth in front of her. Naturally, he treated Daryl as an enemy. Haha. You're right. A poor man can come too. Tristan laughed, staring Daryl in the eye. As you can tell, I'm a generous man. I don't mind lending you some cash if you want to buy something later on since you're a friend of Yvonne. Oh, really? That's so kind of you. Daryl grinned. Don't be embarrassed. Tristan responded. A poor man like you lacks money. A rich man like me doesn't lack any. Why don't you call me Daddy and Yvonne Mommy? I'll pay you $2 million right now. What do you say? Daryl smiled in response. Dax, who was standing beside him, could not hold it any longer. What's wrong with you? He snapped. Dax has always had a bad temper, especially now that someone was looking down on Daryl. He could not stand it any longer, wanting to teach Tristan a lesson. TSK TSK TSK. Even a live-in son-in-law has helpers, eh? Tristan sneered. He was not afraid since he did not know who Dax Sanders was. He assumed that a friend of Daryl would be just as useless. With that in mind, he inched his head towards him. Come on, try hitting me. Hit here, this part of my head, he pointed to himself. If you dare to lay a finger on me, you'd better be prepared to spend the rest of your life in prison, you dash. Smack. Dax threw a punch right on his head. Fuck. Tristan growled as his head swelled up. You better watch out. Tristan yelled. Once the auction is over, I want to see the two of you laying on the floor. Dax punched him so hard that he almost fainted. Tristan, that's enough. Stop fooling around. Yvonne interjected as she marched in her heels into the hall. Yvonne, wait up. Tristan yelled. The hall was as spacious as 4 basketball courts combined. It was almost full as the attendees were of the highest class in the country. Pearl sat in the front row as a representative of the Platinum Corporation. Daryl decided not to sit with her, instead choosing a random seat with Dax and his wife. Yvonne walked over. May I sit here? She whispered. There were 2 reasons why she wanted to sit there. Firstly, she wanted to seek his advice on auctioning the antiques. Secondly, she really missed him. Yvonne, the seats in front have a better view. Shall we go over there? Tristan followed her swiftly. He glanced at Daryl out of the corner of his eye. What was so attractive about this live-in son-in-law? What was it about Daryl that made Yvonne put down her pride, following him around like a student? No need. I'll sit here. Yvonne replied, unfazed. The seats were filled by almost 1,000 attendees. It was indeed a grand auction. Not long after, the event finally commenced. They began with some ordinary jewels and antiques, with the starting price being only a few $1,000s. As the heiress of an antique business, Yvonne was uninterested, having already seen them all. Episode 190. It was till the 5th item in the auction that took away the breath of the women in the hall. Their shining eyes were glued to the shoes on display, an exquisite crafted pair of shoes made of crystal. It was the worship of crystal. Yvonne clenched her fists tight immediately, her eyes glowing with excitement. She had always wanted a pair but was not able to get one. After finally coming face to face with them, she was determined to purchase it. She could not bear to sit still as she focused on the shoes. After seeing the starting price of $50 million, her lit-up face turned dull from disappointment. $50 million as the asking price. Everyone knew the original price of this pair of heels was only $30 million, yet the starting price was $50 million here. Not only that, plenty of women seemed determined to grab the pair for themselves. The auction was going to be very competitive. However, Yvonne only brought $60 million in cash with her. Yvonne, I know you've had your eye on this for a while. Don't worry, I'll help you get them today. Tristan knew that this was his chance. With that said, he raised his hand. $50 million. Mr. Zink bids $50 million. The auctioneer was a gorgeous woman with slightly parted red lips as she smiled. 60 million. 70 million. 80 million. Within a few minutes, the price had soared to 80 million. Tristan was overwhelmed. What just happened? What was wrong with these women, paying 80 million just for a stupid pair of heels? He promised to get Yvonne the shoes, so he had no choice but to bid again. 80. 81 million. Tristan yelled through gritted teeth. Ha ha ha. The hall fell into an uproar of laughter after his offer. It was only 1 million more than the previous bid. Tristan had no choice. Although his family was considered wealthy, he could not burn the money just like that. 90 million. A short-haired woman shot up, raising the card in her hand. 90 million. Miss Goyard here is bidding 90 million. The auctioneer yelled in excitement. The auctioneer earned a commission per item sold. Although the commission was low, a small percentage of 90 million was a lot. Meanwhile, the entire hall was in an uproar. In all honesty, the worship of crystal looked immaculate, but how many women in the world could afford to wear them? There were only 99 pairs in the world. Not everyone could put them on. Most of the guests dealt with businesses of their own. They were smart enough not to bid any more after Miss Goyard's 90 million bid. Tristan's face flushed a deep red. It was way beyond his budget. Seriously, 90 million. Yvonne understood Tristan and was touched. Tristan, I know you've tried, she comforted. Never mind, don't bother. I don't like it anymore. Yvonne was obviously lying. She really liked the shoes, but she also knew Tristan could not afford it. Yvonne, if you don't like it anymore, I won't bid for it. Tristan sighed. Ha 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 ha. Daryl could not restrain himself any further and burst out laughing. This kid was hilarious. Did he not claim to be super rich? How did he back out so easily? What are you laughing at? Tristan roared. At least I can afford 90 million. What about you? Can you pay up to 90 million? Daryl, as a live-in son-in-law, I can only imagine how humbling it is. Did you come here to feel alive since your existence is barely acknowledged at home? Yvonne was offended by Tristan. She was pleased when he was willing to bid the shoes for her, but now that he started mocking Daryl again, she was not impressed at all. Although Daryl was poor, he was brave and sincere man. Tristan, if you keep behaving like this, I'll leave, she frowned.
For more episode, don't forget to subscribe.